you hear me?
Jiminy Christmas, what? Is that me?
What are you doing?
I was gonna watch some TV.
Hey, I was gonna watch some TV.
Hey!
How long has it been since you've made a video tips episode?
I don't know. A couple of weeks, I guess?
I'm disappointed in you.
Hey, I'm a busy guy.
Obviously. I guess you're too big for this YouTube stuff already, huh?
No, whoa, hey, give me a break. I was just gonna...
Just gonna what?
Gonna go make another tip video.
Well then get to it. Chop chop.
I'm not a fan of you, Dino Moji, D-Moji. You know, I don't even know what to call you.
Oh, would you just go?
Ah! What's up everyone, Dino Linsao here with another episode of Dino's Video Tips, where today I'm going to be going over a topic that's often overlooked in video, and that is audio.
Audio.
But before we get into that, if this is your first time on my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. That way you can stay up to date with all my latest content, tip videos, and cinematic films. I promise you won't be disappointed. That's a pretty big promise to make. I promise you will probably enjoy some of my content. Moving on. When most people starting with YouTube think of audio, usually two things come to mind. One is someone talking, and two, what music should I throw over it? And yes, while that is important, there are a ton of little things that you need to pay attention to in order to put together a video that's worthy of someone's undivided attention. So with that being said, here are my 4 tips to pay attention to in regards to your audio. Now first and foremost is volume. But Dino, that's so simple, let's move on to the next tip. But this simple step is messed up so much more than you could possibly imagine. Having a balance of volume between the speaker, the background noise, and the music will keep your viewer from cringing at the off-balance sound, and it will stop them from having to keep their hands on the volume switch just in case the music decides to drastically pop up and cause some early hearing loss. Let's show you some examples. Now in this first part I'm going to keep talking to you, but I'm going to start to bring up the background music a little bit. Now while that background music is coming up, I'm going to keep talking to you, but I want to tell you something super important. Probably the number one thing you could ever hear. It's about life. Please don't miss this. Now, you get the point. Balance your audio out. Check your levels while editing. If any of them are spiking, simply lower the decibels with whatever editing program you're using. And even though it seems obvious, you should be lowering the music volume enough so that any speaking parts can be heard clearly. This is especially true if you have a tendency to be a quiet speaker on camera. So take the time to focus a few extra minutes on your audio levels. Now tip number 2 is use appropriate music for your video. Now that doesn't mean don't use music with curse words in it. Although that's probably bad too. What I mean by appropriate music is music that matches the mood that you're trying to convey to your viewer. If it's a fun, energetic scene, use fun, energetic music. If it's a sad, slow, somber scene, well, don't use the same fun, energetic music. Music is so much more than just keeping your video from going silent. Music is meant to complement the video by telling the viewer how they should feel when they watch it. So take the time to pick a good song, or 2 or 3. That's a follow-up tip. Don't just use one song if you're doing multiple things in the video. Picking songs can take a lot of time, but in the end you'll be glad you spent the extra time to do it. And nothing is better than a video with that perfect track. Tip number 3, fill your video with background noise. Now that doesn't mean always, just when you feel it's missing that little extra something. Here's a pro tip. Let's say your scene is a busy, crowded room, but the noise isn't the best. There's babies crying, parents yelling, or parents crying and babies yelling. You know. Then take your camera and record in a better scene that's similar to what you're working with and use just the audio from that scene. Maybe try filming audio inside of a mall and just using that as the background noise instead. Or for instance, in this scene of the waves crashing. actually had to film the audio from a different part of the beach entirely because there were just tons of people in the area. So I just went to a different spot of the beach and recorded my audio there instead. Simple. And finally, tip number 4 is utilize sound effects. But Dino, not all of us have access to cool sound effects. Well, actually, you kind of do. Check this out. Alexa, make a dog barking sound. You'd be surprised how many sound effects you can make by yourself, just using what's around you to emphasize those shots that could use just a little extra touch of sound. Now if you have a mic, obviously that helps, but if you don't, just bring your camera mic close to the sound you want to record and record a few takes to make sure you got it, and use those sounds to your heart's desire. So, there you have it. 4 foolproof audio tips to help you creatives out there bring your videos to that next level. If you have any questions or ideas for tip videos, please leave them in the comments below. And if you got anything useful out of this video, please hit that like button. And again, please consider subscribing. That way you can stay up to date with all my latest content, and you won't miss out on the next episode of Dino's Video Tips. Thanks for joining me. Now go out there and make something memorable.